So let's get the latest reaction to these developments on our southern border, including reports that the Biden administration plans to investigate Texas Governor Greg Abbott or his administration over his plans to protect the Texas state border. Let's talk to the former acting deputy secretary of Homeland Security, Ken Cuccinelli. Welcome back to the show.
Good to be with you, Shannon.
Okay, all kinds of interesting strategies and plans going on down there in the southern border, especially for Texas there. The Washington Post talks about this. They say that Governor Abbott is testing the feds by urging Texas troopers to return migrants to the border. Their take, it says, the order appears to be unconstitutional, legal experts said, and may have little practical impact on Abbott's ongoing expensive and controversial border security initiative, Operation Lone Star. That's just one of the efforts that they're tackling and trying down there at the southern border. But critics say not legal, much of what they're doing. What's your take?
Well, certainly it is legal. There's plenty of Texas legal basis for them to operate on. They've been doing that for a year and a half. I will say Operation Lone Star, as busy as it has kept them, hasn't changed the numbers. This week, Governor Abbott issued an executive order that he was going to be delivering illegal border crossers to the ports of entry. That means he's going to be delivering them to the Border Patrol, Customs Border Protection, and of course they're processing them and releasing them in the United States. What we really need to see the border governors do, and Governor Abbott is of course the most likely, is declare an invasion, which they've all used the word, but to legally, formally declare it under their constitutional power under Article 1, and return them back into Mexico, not to the border, but across the border. And don't let them come in until those contemplating coming up to our country illegally know they can't get in and stay in. They will keep coming. On the other hand, on the other side of the governmental ledger, you've got the federal government that's already trying to intimidate, frankly, the Abbott team under just Operation Lone Star without taking this additional step before they do that. And they don't really have any good legal basis to do that. We just saw, you saw Bill Melugion's report, of course, on the so-called whipping of migrants. And what we all know, everybody knows it, right up to the president himself, that even the complaints about these agents that they settled on were completely cooked up to cover President Biden's statement that you all just showed, where he promised they would pay, they would be punished. And there's too much politics on the federal side, but we are getting some enforcement on the state side. It's not enough yet, but it is a step in the right direction.
To that point, here is what the White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said today about the states trying to take this stuff into their own hands. Here's what she said.
So I'll say this, the immigration enforcement is a federal authority, and states should not be mandating it, meddling in it. That is just, especially Texas Governor of Abbott, who has a track record of causing chaos and confusion at the border.
And I got to tell you, it made me think back to a case I covered at the Supreme Court 10 years ago when Arizona had passed its own state laws. And the Supreme Court said that most of that Arizona couldn't do. I'll read a little bit from Justice Kennedy's opinion. He said the national government has significant power to regulate immigration. Arizona may have understandable frustrations with the problems caused by illegal immigration while that process continues, but the state may not pursue policies that undermine federal law. So a quick final thought from you on how this comes together, how something actually gets done at the border between, the states and feds now at each other's throats.
So when I was Attorney General, I was a co-plaintiff in that case, a supporter of Arizona in that case. And this is what you and I are talking about here, the constitutional power of the state of Texas to put people back into Mexico is to respond to an invasion. That's the word used in the Constitution, when actually invaded. It is not immigration law. It's a completely separate source of authority, and the Constitution trumps even immigration statutes, which is what the Arizona v. U.S. case was about. And that's a little hard for some people to understand because it's all happening in the same place, namely at the border, but it's completely different sources of legal authority. And Governor Abbott is perfectly well within his rights to declare an invasion and use his state authorities, state officials, law enforcement and military, to move people back across the border.
And we will leave it to the White House in Texas to battle that out. Ken Cuccinelli, thanks for dropping in.
Good to be with you.